Welcome to the Setbreaker podcast, and today we got a special guest. We got my good friend Joshua Higuera.
What's up?
What up, dude? All right, man. So you know why you're here. We're gonna jump right into it because this is a conversation I've been wanting to have for a while. You were a corrections officer at a prison.
Yeah.
For how many years?
7.
7 years, and now you're a stand-up comic. Amazing.
Yeah, I just left. It's been a year and a half, and then I was a year in Cuba too. So I was in prison.
Cuba?
Yeah, total of 8 years.
Like Fidel Castro, Cuba?
Yeah. Well, it's Gitmo. It's like there's like the United States owns like this very small portion of the island, and that's Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Oh, you were on Guantanamo Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! And you were there for how long?
A year.
A year. Okay. So besides that, where were you 6 years?
No, so then I worked 7 here in a federal prison up in Victorville.
What is it called?
The federal prison in Victorville.
Oh, it's called federal prison. Oh, I thought you were saying it's a federal prison.
Yeah, it's just the BOP, Bureau of Prisons.
Bureau of Prisons. Yeah. Okay. So being a corrections officer, there's a lot to get into this. I don't even really know where to start, but how was that though?
It was cool, and then I don't know. Honestly, I didn't realize how much like negativity followed me until I left. So when I left, I felt like there was a cloud that just like was hovering over me. And then when once I was gone, it was slowly going away. I mean, I still have like some problems. Like I don't know if it's from the army or what, right? But I don't like going in public too much, right? Like I don't like going to Walmart, or like I don't like somebody brushes up against me. It irritates me. I'm very irritable, like I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But those are like the small things that I think linger for a while, right? Yeah. I'm sure one day I don't care. It won't be as bad, but it's weird, man. Like I feel like the cloud is just gone now. It's crazy.
So you felt like there was like a dark cloud, like a thunderstorm constantly following you, even when you would leave the prison?
Yeah. So at my house, like I didn't like white color, like bright. I didn't want it to be bright. I wanted it to be just like when I come home in like a little cave, dark. Like I had shaded windows, just because I didn't like this. I don't know. I didn't like the brightness. I don't know what it was. And then now it's like I love opening my front window and just having the sunlight come in. Unless I'm watching TV, it bugs me. But other than that,
yeah, because you don't want the glare on the screen.
Yeah, no, it's annoying.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay, so you were in such a dark place, you literally didn't want to see brightness.
Yeah, and I didn't process that until I left. Like, oh my god, I didn't realize how much I hated sunlight or just brightness in my house, and that could be so many different things, right? Like, yeah, it's crazy to think about.
So you were saying that you enjoyed it at times?
Yeah, like it was cool. Like the money was good, right? Like there's like unlimited overtime, so if you wanted to work, you could work, or sometimes you're forced to work. But like sometimes I miss like maybe like the staff, like some of the staff members of the friendships that I built over time, But other than that,
you don't miss the prisoners?
No, hell no. Hell no. It wasn't bad though. I mean, I wouldn't like if people ask me sometimes like if you could do something different, would you? Like, no. I mean, because without all that, I wouldn't be who I am now, right? Oh. Like, who would I be?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, did anybody try to fuck with you, or what are some things that happened inside the prison?
No, I don't think. I mean, inmates test you, but it's not like on TV. At least, like, I never ran into anything like that. Right? Like, they'll try to get to you. Like, they'll be like, cool with you. Hey, Sio, they'll test you. Like, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Right? Or they'll just do things like if there's trash or whatever, they'll go throw it in the garbage, right? Or little things like that. And then all of a sudden, there's like a bag of property that you're going to throw away. And like, hey, Sio, can I get that property since I've been a good boy? They don't say it like that, but that's pretty much what they're freaking telling you, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's not like TV where it's like wild. I mean, at least where I was at. Cuba was different. Cuba was more like throw poop at you and stuff like that, like on a daily basis, bro.
They throw poop on you on a daily basis.
Yeah, not like me personally, but like somebody was splashed every day.
Damn.
And it was usually the same guys that were like too, like, oh no, this is how it is, and fuck you, you're a fucking detainee, right? But I was more like, man, like I'm gonna just make my day. I wouldn't like be like their friend or anything, but like I would give them what they got coming. That was like a term that you use. Like give them what they got coming. Like if they need toilet paper or water, whatever, you give it to them. You don't be like, well, fuck you, you're not getting it, right?
Oh, so you weren't doing some like some power trip shit?
No, why? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they're still a man. And that's why I always looked at it. No matter what they did to get in there, whether they killed somebody, kidnapped somebody, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're still a man and they still have feelings. It doesn't matter how tough they are, how tough you are. You still have feelings at the end of the day. And that's the way I used to look at it, because how would I feel if somebody, I don't know, spit in my food or something, right? I'd be pissed, or ripped up a picture of my wife, or shit in my toilet and left it there. Like how, because people would do stuff like that, bro.
Hey, I was about to ask, like, these sound like real examples. They would rip up photos of the wife.
Yeah, I've seen people like rip up pictures and just to be like, well, fuck you. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but whatever.
Damn. Oh, shit.
Someone comes knocking on my door.
I don't know. Yeah. But you didn't say any names. You didn't say anything.
Yeah, no. Fuck, right? Yeah, man. I just feel like, why do you need to have a power trip? I want to go home. At the end of the day, I want to go home and I want to see my family again. I'm not trying to die in prison. Hell no.
Yeah, die in prison when you're not even locked up in prison.
Yeah, for what? For what?
To be a bully?
Yeah. Because but there's a lot of guys that you can tell were like nerds in school, got bullied in school. So then they go and they do it to the inmates because they can. And those are the guys like, fuck, I got to work with him today. Like, oh, God.
Oh, good. Because they would make your life harder too, right?
Yeah, because then something's going to happen with you, So it was weird, man. It's a weird, I could talk about it for hours.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then if they did something, if your fellow CO was like the nerd guy who took it out, all his past childhood pain onto a prisoner that didn't really do anything to them, then you would feel some of the ramifications, is what you're saying. Yeah,
sometimes like it would just, I don't know, like they'd be more disrespectful or let's say, this is what happened a couple of times. Is like, let's say something was about to go off in the unit and you knew, because like on the yard, let's say the I don't know, we'll just use colors. This blacks and the whites are going to get into it and they have beef on the yard. And you know that something might happen in your housing unit because somebody told you, right? So I would always be like, hey man, I just want to go home. I don't want to be a part of this shit. You guys do that shit when I'm gone. As soon as I'm gone, all of a sudden, boom, everybody's getting beat up in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it was, because you would have that kind of rapport with them. I'm not saying it happened all the time, but sometimes like you'd be able to get away with something like that. Look, I know something may or may not happen today. I just heard on the yard, because it was like high school, bro. Like everybody, like, hey man, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you hear what this is? So, yeah, it's like, you put it together and you could kind of like navigate your way through. Or sometimes all of a sudden there's a guy getting his head stomped into the ground. Like, oh shit,
damn,
here we go.
Shit. So did you see a lot of like the violence? Or after effects of that aftermath? Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people like get beat up or stabbed, and that's what's crazy. Okay, so when I seen that one time, some guy got stabbed like a bunch of times, and in movies where like blood is fucking squirting everywhere. No, man, their shirt just turns red and like little spot. Like it's not like, it's weird.
Yeah, it's not a fountain.
It's not a fountain like TV.
It just slowly like drenches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they could still like fight and move and like, dude, that guy got just stabbed like 10 times. He's fighting his way out of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's bleeding out and he's just still fucking going at it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah, because the human body's pretty amazing in that.
It is pretty amazing.
Right?
Yeah. It really is.
Damn, man. I mean, okay, so you weren't ever really scared for your life?
No, I mean, you did go in there like more, I guess you could say, like with your head on a swivel when you went in there. It was like, you kind of got tense a little bit when the gates closed behind you, but I mean, there was one time that I thought we were all going to die. Only because there was a staff member slammed up this inmate up against the fence and was kind of being a dick for no reason. And I was new. So I think maybe that's why I felt this way too. Like my butt was all puckered up. Mm-hmm. So one of the guys said, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what he said. The guy from the middle yelled up, so yelled down, and then it was like a train going up to one of the housing units. And then that guy yelled down to the other inmates, and then all that group started walking back, like that gang or whatever, right? Like started walking back, and then all the housing units started walking back. But then on the other side of the court was like Fox or whatever, and then that guy yells something, and then everybody starts going back to the housing units. But then that guy yells. So I don't know if they had like a power struggle or who was in charge or whatever, but whoever was, at the end of the day, whoever was in charge ended up calling them off. But all like those guys there was like probably 50, 60 people walking back towards the guard shack to fuck us up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, we're all walking, trying to get them. Go, you go back to the housing, and they weren't listening. They're just walking right past us, going back. And I was like, oh my god, dude, this is crazy. Like, we're gonna die right now.
Wait, how many of you were there? Guards.
Well, everybody ended up coming on the yard, so there was probably around 30 staff. But then there was like, I think we were still outnumbered for sure. I think it was a weekend too, so I don't think like the regular facilities and stuff was there. I think it was just the guys that like an education compound, all the housing unit officers type of stuff. So
also, it wasn't the people that was like trained to be.
No, it just wasn't like as many. We didn't have as many staff there, so we would have got fucked up. Like if that guy had the power, and he said no, go back and beat the shit out of that dude, then we would have easily been fucked up.
Damn, so he literally could have changed.
Yeah, but that guy had more power apparently in the corner and told everybody to come
that's
back in the house.
crazy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's probably like the biggest butt bucker moment I had there. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of other stuff, but that was like the one where I was like, maybe 'cause, like I said, I was like new and I never really seen anything like that before. And I was like, oh my God.
It must have felt like a movie.
Yeah, it did. It did.
That was scared the shit out of me. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying there's like a bunch of other stuff. Like, what are some other things that you encountered or saw?
I don't know. People got into fights all the time.
Was it a daily basis?
No, not daily. I mean, there'd be weeks. There'd be weeks where nothing happened, and all of a sudden, boom, day after day after day. You know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. One time I saw this guy get his teeth like kicked out of his mouth. That was pretty interesting.
It was interesting.
So my partner, I was actually showing him pre-workout on the computer, and I'm like looking this way, and I'm like behind him because the office was facing out. And then he's like, showing him this website about this place that I go to, and there's like, oh shit, some guy just got thrown out of his chair, and then there's like 4 dudes kicking him in the head and stuff. And there's like, oh shit. So then he calls it in on the radio. I make fun of him because I say that he like kicked the desk and threw the computer off the table and then ran out there. But really, he just kind of like jumped up, pushed a chair, and ran out. But I make fun of him all the time, like, because that's how we met, and we're like still friends, right?
Yeah.
But I make fun of him, like, you're so dramatic, bro. Like, fight, bravo. Flips the desk for no reason, But we go out there and we break it up, and then the dude's like laying on the floor, and he goes over there and he's like, hey, you okay? And he goes to pick him up, and he's like, oh my God, he's dead. He just drops him, bro. It just drops.
Damn, like that.
Yeah. But there was just a big old puddle of blood around, the head. Even if you get a little cut, I mean, it's going to bleed a lot, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting those guys, we're locking them up. We're locking up the housing unit. And then the guy gets up. He's like, where are my glasses? By the time, there was a bunch of other staff by that time happened. And then they put him on a gurney. They took him out. Mm-hmm. And then there was like blood sitting on the floor. And then there's like people that are blood specialists. Like, we can't clean it. Like, I can't just go start mopping it up. Like, there's certain procedures they have to do or whatever, right? So there's like little white things and they look like teeth. I was like, bro, I think those are his teeth on the floor. And then the other guy was like, no, man, I think those are his headphones. And I was like, no, man, those are teeth.
Headphones or AirPods.
So I walk over to the puddle, and the puddle is probably as big as this table. I'm like looking at the puddle, and I'm like, oh no, dude, those are teeth. There was like the front tooth, like some molars, like
damn.
Yeah, there was like 5 of them just like scattered in the puddle of blood.
So you got that shit kicked out of him. Was he actually?
I couldn't even imagine getting hit that hard where your teeth fall out of your mouth, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I saw that one video. I think it was a basketball player or somebody, but he got punched in the lower jaw, and the gum area, that bone split. Like, it split his teeth. So it was like you could like play with it back and forth like a little.
Oh, his
thingy.
whole gum,
like the gum line, like it's because there's bone in the gum line.
Yeah,
and it's split on the lower jaw area.
Why are we talking about violence?
Because I don't know. I like it. Why not? I don't know. We're talking about everything. I don't.
I'm just kidding. No,
yeah. All right. So tell me how you.
There was good things in prison though. Like I said, I met a lot of cool people. I did get another job towards the end, which was like the dopest job ever, man. Like, because custody, like working as an actual officer, like you work 5 days a week, 2 days off, and then you could be mandatory overtime 4 of those days. And if it was like really, really bad, then you can get mandatory overtime on your Friday. But anyway, I got this other job. It was a unit team, and I pretty much just filed paperwork and like helped like with the inmate files, and then I helped like get their travel in order and all that stuff. And that was chill because I worked 4 days, 3 days off, and like you could pretty much like call in like whenever you want. Like like if I don't feel like coming to work today, but I don't feel like going to work. It was dope. But it was, even though I was not working with inmates like hands on every day, it still sucked. It was just that dark, that cloud, that that.
You're in that environment.
Yeah,
right?
bro. You're still in prison. At the end of the day, you're still in prison. Doesn't matter what job you have,
Yeah. It's that air of kind of like when I walk in the hospital and I'm like, I smell death.
Yeah.
Even though I don't see it, I'm like, there's somebody dying here.
Does smell, prison does
me.
smell a certain way too. Like you walk like a hospital, like that smell. It's not the same smell, but especially the penitentiary, it's just because it's all enclosed. So like the yard is like in the middle, and then the housing units and like the rec and everything is in like a corridor on the outside.
Yeah.
So like that, everything's on that side, and the yard's like in the middle.
Oh, so it's like
all enclosed. But the other one, like you walk into the facility, like everything's here, right? And then the yard's like in the back, and then the housing units. There's a housing unit here, housing unit here, housing unit here, and then there's like 4 levels to the housing unit. But the pen is all enclosed. Everything is just all in the same corridor.
It's like an Olympic Coliseum almost.
Yeah, but it's but it's all like brick. Can't get out. Unless like you get buzzed out or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to affect anybody's mental, regardless of if you're a prisoner or not. Because, like, if I'm in my, like, let's say like this place too long, like sitting in the living room, I start to feel some type of way. I start to feel like a creeping feeling of hopelessness, simply because I'm inside an enclosed place. But then, as soon as I step outside, I go to the front and the sun hits me. I'm like,
you feel free.
I just feel completely better, right?
Yeah.
So I can only imagine being inside all day, working there too, but also being a prisoner 24/7, like trying not to lose my mind and like get stir crazy. Like, like when a fox gets trapped in a cage, it just goes in circles. I would imagine that's what it would feel like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can only see that, man.
That's why I would always look at them like, because like I said, we don't know. It doesn't matter what they did to get in there. At the end of the day, they're still stuck in there for it doesn't matter if it's a year or the rest of their life, like, right?
Yeah.
You mess with the wrong guy that has nothing. Imagine you messing with the guy that's in there, has 3 life sentences, and you go in there and just do something disrespectful to him because he did something wrong or gave you an attitude because he found out his wife cheating on him, right? That's why he's acting that way. And then you went in there and acted like an asshole, and you really made him mad. Now he's gonna go beat your ass and your partner or kill you. Yeah. And he has nothing to lose. You got 3 life sentences anyways. It doesn't matter. Is it worth it?
Because it's not always I mean, I feel like that's like a life lesson, though. It's not always a personal thing when somebody or a stranger acts a certain way towards you. It wasn't you. It was everything that happened before you.
Yeah, and we don't know that.
Yeah.
That's why it's our job just to, I don't know, just try to be better than that, right? Like, why do you need to give that same energy back? What did that do to you? Did it ruin your day? That the cashier was rude to you? Did you need to call her an asshole? Did you need to flip her off and call her a dumb bitch? And, is it necessary?
Yeah. I mean, well, did they teach you that for the CO thing? Or is that a thing that you just thought of?
I mean, they kind of tell you that, but like, I think I gathered that on my own, just through life. Like, because that's what I'm trying to do now. Like, I see a lot of things and I'm like, why was that necessary? Like, perfect example, like traffic. Like when somebody just cuts you off and then he cuts that car off and then he's putting everybody's life in danger because he's selfish and not thinking about anybody else. But you could have just cut this car off and then the car behind him didn't see it and then he smashes into him and then kills their kids because you cut them off and acted stupid. It's serious. It's a serious thing, bro. Like it happens. I mean, it happens. Stuff like that happens all the time. And I mean, you just put somebody else's life or kid's life in jeopardy because you want to be a jackass.
Yeah, and that's why they have
the smallest things in life that we can change. But
they would have lived if they had a baby on board sticker.
True.
Yeah.
Because then that car would have totally paid.
Yeah, they would have. They would be like, you know what? It's not worth it.
Or what if my Tesla doesn't see that car cut him off, and then I'm right behind him, bam, and then my Tesla hits somebody, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't pay.
I mean, but you wouldn't care if it was a gas run car because you don't respect gas.
I respect kids, though.
You respect kids.
No, fuck those kids.
Yeah, fuck kids, man.
Fuck those theoretical dead kids.
Fuck them, man. Yeah. Who cares if the teeth are on the floor?
Yeah, I'm kidding.
5 teeth on the floor. No, kids forever.
I like my kid. I don't know if I like your guys' kids. I love my kid. He's the best.
Yeah.
I really do hate kids, though.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. Like, if you had a kid,
yeah, you would.
I don't know.
You would hate, you would hate my kid?
Fuck that kid, bro.
It's like, hey, David, meet your Uncle Josh. Hey, Uncle Josh.
Get out of here, Dave.
You just go, that's all you do.
No, I used to hate kids. Now they're cool, I guess.
Because you had a kid?
Yeah, it changes. Yeah. When you have kids, it changes everything. And I know it's like the cliche thing to say, but it does. It like changes your perspective. I think that's kind of why I have the mindset too. Like, I got to show him that he doesn't have to match the rest of the world with the negative energy. He can be better. Like he could have everything he wants. He could have money, whatever, right? Like he could do anything that he wants. Like he just needs to not be a piece of shit. Because there's some pieces of shit that get everything too, but why?
Yeah, but sometimes karma gets done, but sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Some people are just, just fucking live to your best. But I don't know, man. I feel like 7 years as a corrections officer is a very long time.
But think about this. Some guys do 40 years, 30 years, 20 years.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you met these guys, and are they okay? Like, are they like...
No.
They're fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not show up, but you can see it, man. You can see, like... I got a friend that retired, and, I mean, he's a good dude, but you can see that 30 years did, a toll on him, right? Like, I mean, that's like with anything, military or whatnot. You could see that they got a lot of scars. Whether they like to admit it or not, like it's part of it. That's why I saw, like, do I really want this for myself? Do I want to be in prison for 30 years? And then I messed up my leg, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. It was like the third time I messed up my ankle. And,
working there?
Yeah. No, I heard it there twice, and then when I was in Cuba, I heard it once. So...
I mean, how do you hurt it?
In prison, I slipped running upstairs, and then I don't remember how I heard it the first time. I know I messed it up twice, and then in Cuba, we were doing PT and I rolled my ankle and tore a ligament. Well, I don't know if it was torn. No, it was never determined if I. It was just my foot was purple, so I was in a boot. No surgery, no MRI, nothing. Just a big old purple ankle and foot.
Damn.
And my stuff has never been the same since then.
Like a fat black woman with diabetes, kind of. That's my first thought I had. That's like.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what I thought.
No, it was messed up. And then, like in the military, they don't, especially in Cuba, like they don't have resources. So I think if I wanted to get an MRI, I think I had to go to like the main, like the mainland, like not Cuba. I'd have to come back to get the MRI because I don't think they did it there. Or it was something like that. I think I had to like get on a bus and go, I don't know, some shit. I had to travel. Regardless, I had to travel for an MRI. But they're not going to do that. They're like, you'll be fine. Just in a boot for 6 weeks and it'll heal itself. And it did. But like even now, like I wake up in the morning and like like this little sliver on my heel hurts every day.
Damn.
My first couple steps in the morning, it hurts still.
When it's cold, you got to warm up, right?
Mm-hmm. And then when I'm cold, I can't like run like I used to. I actually don't run at all anymore. Like, I ride my bike, but my leg's never going to be the same.
Yeah. You're fucked, dude. Yeah. It's only going to get worse.
It will.
And you're not going to be able to walk someday.
I know.
And you're going to have to be in a wheelchair.
That's fine.
And you have to watch your kid play from the edge of the park, and you go, damn, if only I got this sliver fixed in the back.
If only I got this sliver fixed.
But you know what's great?
I could run. It's not that bad, but like think about it. If I were to do
it's annoying.
30 years, like, well, it's not worth it, man. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I knew that I comedy was like my passion, right? Because I struggled for a long time, like getting out of the military and stuff. Like, what is my purpose on this earth? Is it really to work in a prison for 30 years, or and then retire, and then what? Then what am I supposed to do, right? But at the same time, I got a job working in the prison. I got the job, or I started doing stand up.
At the same exact time you got the job?
Actually, at the academy for my job is when I did my first show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I knew that I liked that, right? And then I'd say, I don't know, 5 years doing stand-up, I was like, wow, this is like what... It brought me back to that question, like, what am I put on this earth to do? And like, that's it, man. Like, it's not... Like, that's it. This is what I'm meant to do, right? Like, that's how... At least that's how I feel. I mean, I don't know if it's accurate or not.
I mean, but it's kind of like our choice.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
yeah. I mean, but it's life, right? Like, I mean, we could choose and pick, and that's why when people complain about this, they complain about, I hate my job, I hate this. But the beauty about it is you can change it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be stuck at that job. You can go find a new job. You can go to school or whatever you want to do. Like, it's possible, right? We were just talking about somebody being older and getting there, right? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, man. Like, we're our own worst enemies. We're our own. Only person holding us back is ourselves at the end of the day. Unless you're in prison, you're fucked. But
yeah, then it's the bars that are keeping yourself. Yeah. It's not you, it's the bars.
But it's true, man. It really is. Like, and I try to think about that stuff. And that's what I want to teach my son. If I could teach him that early, I feel like he can be ahead of the curve, right?
No, it's true. It's true. And also those thoughts will come out if it doesn't impact him now because he's so young. It'll be in his head because you're gonna repeat the stuff, and then he's gonna remember it like later. And also on a subconscious level, like that really does happen. So, no, it's true, man. It's like we were talking about off camera too. It's kind of like the redefining the meaning of success and happiness instead of going off of what everybody else says.
Mm-hmm. I feel like happiness is more important.
Yeah, happiness is 100% more important than
if you're not happy,
than how people perceive you. Because if we live based off of how we want people to perceive us, then it's game over.
Yeah.
Because you are literally living. Then it's no different than you working the job that you extremely hate, saying it's done. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
You feel helpless, but you're not actually helpless.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true though. I feel like my dad told me when I got out of this really ugly relationship. It wasn't ugly, actually. I messed up. I didn't mess up. I wasn't right upstairs, right? Like I wasn't okay. I guess,
a dark cloud.
Yeah. I did. It was like right after I got back from Cuba. I was going through it in my own shit. And he told me that he's like, you can never be with somebody. How are you ever going to make somebody else happy if you're not happy? You're never going to, it doesn't matter if she's the perfect woman. It doesn't matter if she's the worst woman. It doesn't matter. You're never going to be happy unless you make yourself happy. And then I didn't really understand it. And then like a year goes by. Actually, I think he died. And that's when I really, really understood what he meant.
Yeah, because when we lose a parent, then we all of a sudden have flashbacks.
That is a game changer. Right? Yeah. When you lose somebody like that I think is really what was a turning point for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it opens your eyes. And then now I got a kid. It's like, oh shit, man. Like, life is just different now. I have to, I don't know. Like my main focus is to be happy and then to show him that he can have everything in this world learn all these things sooner than I did. And he could get, and at that point, I mean, damn, knowledge is power right there, right?
No, 100%. Especially coming from the father.
Yeah.
Right. Because the way the father speaks to the child will directly impact the way that they maneuver through life.
Yeah.
Whether like the dad can literally add 50 pounds of weighted ankle weights, like prisoner shit, or help them get more muscle and stronger without shackling them. Mm-hmm. And then
that's actually, I like that.
Yeah. See, I had a lot of time to think about too, because my dad died too.
Yeah.
12 years ago. You know what I mean? So for me, my dad set it up almost as like shackles, literally.
Yeah.
Just constant, just wait. And then it was up to me to figure out where's the key. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing.
He left no key.
There was no key. There actually wasn't the key. It wasn't the key. Yeah, there wasn't the key. It wasn't actually locked. I could open it. The leg lock, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I was raised to believe that this is how it's supposed to be. And it took me to like my 30s to just really open and like, damn. But simultaneously, just like the other dad, it did end up making me stronger with the muscle.
Yeah, right. Like
but if I didn't take it off, I wouldn't be faster and feel the power of the strength and the fitness that I gained from the weight because the weight's constantly on me. But since I took off the weight, I do feel stronger. So it like,
and now all you can do now is succeed because you know both sides. Now there's both,
Yeah. So I don't know. There's like positives and I think there's positives to everything. I don't want to say like positives and negatives. I just want to say there's always a silver lining. There's always a lesson to be learned. There's always everything. As long as you're alive, everything does make you stronger, even if it makes you weaker in interim. You know what I'm talking about? That's just kind of how it is, right? So, I mean that's interesting that you went from the military to being a CO to doing comedy. But I'm sure the whole time you were in that depressive world, right? That the dark cloud.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of grew up in a weird childhood too, so I think it was just always with me.
That was
once
the norm.
I decided to be, I never noticed it, and then I left a job, and then I'm doing what I like, and I was like, man, like there's more to life, like. And then I start thinking about, like you said, you start reminiscing on the conversations you had with him, and I'm like, man, like he's right. How can I be with somebody? I mean, just in life, how can I even try to make people happy on stage if I'm not happy? Giving them false happiness, like.
Yeah.
I could say that I'm genuinely happy now. And I'm just enjoying the process now. You know, whatever happens, happens. Because people ask me all the time too. Somebody just recently asked me, like, why do I do stand-up? Why do you do stand-up?
You're supposed to answer it first.
Yeah, but I want to know why you want to do it.
To change your answer?
No, I know my answer. That's why I want to tell you.
Why do I do stand-up? I do it because I genuinely enjoy it. I genuinely do it. It's one thing that where I have like a community of people that I feel like we all understand each other because we're all like kind of fucked up people.
Yeah.
That still need.
I seem fine.
Look at you, fucking stroking hair you don't have. You fake fucking. You're crazy. You're crazy. Lost your shit. That's why you got a Tesla to make yourself feel better about the lack of long hair.
Fuck that Tesla.
It's okay. I don't have any hair, anyways. Yeah, I have a Toyota Camry. No, but I do it because before it was really just about proving myself to myself because I was like a shy kid. I couldn't talk to people, blah, blah. And, you know, just to kind of figure myself out, right? But like I like doing it because it makes me learn a lot about myself. It keeps showing me who I am, keeps making me grow, and I can keep improving in it. There's like no real cap to this thing. And it just made me a better person overall, and it continues to do so while I develop the friendships in this game. And it just makes me feel good making people laugh, really. Because that was like the only thing that made me feel normal when I was a kid with all the shit that was growing up. I went through when I was growing up was like the only time I felt normal. I remember telling my best friend at the time in 6th grade, like the only time I feel normal is when I make people laugh.
Oh, so you've been making people laugh here. Yeah, you know what? I guess that does make sense, huh?
Because besides that, I was really sad. Or scared.
Yeah.
Growing up. So that was like the norm. And now I get to do it for my life.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
You get to make people laugh for a living.
It's a trip, like complete strangers. Yeah. Well, not like a full blown living yet, but like.
Yeah, but you're working. You're definitely on the right path in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, just even where I'm at now is still, sometimes lately it's something I've been doing is putting myself in a position of who I was at like a certain age. And feel all the fears, feel all like the uncertainty and the things I was going through, and then putting myself in the eyes of the Michael from maybe when I was like 8, and then 14, and even 21, and then like look at where I'm at now. I'm like a superhero to
do you feel
younger version?
So this is do you feel this? Because I've been kind of looking at myself too, like that, like looking at when I was 13 or 21 or. Right, because there's a lot of growth. Do you feel like you're that same person, or do you feel like you're just like watching yourself? Like I don't know if that makes any sense, but because I've been kind of doing the same thing. Like, man, when I was in high school, this is how I would feel, right? Like, but then now I look back, and I can't believe I was that person. Or like even when I got out of the military, like how wild I was and how like I didn't have a filter, I guess you could say. Like I've grown up a lot, and I can't believe like I would do and say half the shit that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, looking. So it's like you're doing two things. You're looking from who you are now and back to that person at that age, and then from that person at that age back then to now.
Yeah,
like vice versa, right? Yeah.
Isn't it like a weird feeling?
It's
like,
fucking weird, man.
It's strange. I felt that way, or like I can, but compared to the way I think now, right? Like
yeah, like the way you operated through life was like for instance, for me, it was we're supposed to be miserable until we die. Like I thought that's how we're supposed to live. I thought every human on this earth was supposed to never feel fully okay, like not even one moment, and we're just supposed to run on like minimum low grade level of anxiety, depression, and misery, like constantly. I thought that was normal because that was me all the way to 29. I didn't know, and of course then they get like really bad, or it'd be like mid bad, really bad, or most of the time just a little bad, but just always a little bad.
Yeah.
Just always not really, that's why I would laugh extra hard out of like desperation. I feel like at times, you know what I mean? Like, just like, if I don't laugh hard, I'm going to die. You know what I'm talking about? But like, it's a trip really trying to like, and when you think like that and you think back to even just 10 years ago, it feels like almost an eternity. Because we changed so much.
It feels like a different life sometimes. Like, damn, I can't believe like, I was like that. You know what I mean? Like it's wild.
It's weird, man. Doesn't it make you feel old? thinking like that? Like you're like an uncle looking back at like a younger, like, oh look at that, oh he's just doing that fucking young people things, you know?
But then you know, like I remember my dad would tell me all the time, like when you get older, right? And like whatever, dude. And then now I'm like, oh shit, he was right.
Like what's one thing?
I don't know. Like when you get older, you're not going to be able to. It's a perfect example. Like you're not going to be able to jump off. You're not going to be able to jump off those stairs when you're older. You better be careful, right?
Yeah.
My grandpa used to tell me stuff all the time. Like you better take care of your body because you're not going to be able to do that forever. And now I'm like, oh, he's right. I can't jump off those stairs, bro.
Dude, I be walking.
Can't even jump off the couch.
I walk downstairs because you know they go like, oh, if you walk down the stairs too hard, it's bad for your knees. I start feeling my knees. I take my time down those stairs.
Yep.
I use the handlebar, the rail.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. I take my time. Now, like stepping out of my car because if I step out too hard, I might tweak my knee.
I know I'll jump out of my truck sometimes because like there'll be like yesterday there was like mud because we went like off roading with my son.
Yeah.
And then like I jumped out and like I tweaked my knee and I was like, oh man, I hope this isn't gonna linger for a couple of days. I'm good now. I worked out my legs earlier, so I'm good. But I was like, oh no.
Yeah. So we're slowly getting there. We feel I start chewing slower now because when I like eat too fast, like I chip my tooth on a spoon from soup because I threw the spoon to. Now I take my time.
My tooth on a fork.
Yeah, but my front teeth keep getting more chipped because I was doing drugs and stuff. So now I'm like, all right, I have to like cosmetically, they're not the best, but they're still healthy. But now my brain's thinking, all right, let's see how much. Okay, if I make this much money in the future, then I need braces probably too. But if I get it right now, is it going to impact me from getting a specific type of role where I can make more money to get the teeth fixed like that? So I'm thinking like that constantly. And I'm like, oh, what do I? Okay, well, for now, I guess I have to just kind of maintain what I have and just not fuck them up. And now I'm starting to not
use plastic forks from now on.
Yeah, dude. Or like I take a big bite from the side of my mouth. Like I get why people would do that. Yeah, just to be safe. And these are things I never thought about before that I'm thinking about now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or like I shave my head every day with an electric razor that goes, and I was like, I hear the higher frequency in my ears going more and more now, and I know when it does that, it means you're losing that frequency, and it's happening all the time in my left ear, and I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna go deaf. Should I start shaving my head with like tissue paper in my ear? So
I was just gonna say with earplugs, you put earplugs on.
Honestly, I think I need to start doing that, but like, our bodies are dying, dude.
No, yeah. Once you're born, you're dying slowly.
Yeah, but I still feel great though. I feel better than ever, but not at the same time.
Yeah,
you know, but I feel great, and I wouldn't go back. Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would go back is I would take braces.
Oh, so you were offered braces?
Yeah, but I would. I didn't want to look like a nerd. And it gave me a bad overbite, and then that's why my front teeth are like fucking chipped and shit. And it's all right.
Perception.
It is perception, and then
we were talking about that before we got on perception.
We did
think about you.
Yeah, but I mean,
and it starts. Isn't that crazy how it starts early too? Or like even like how movies and shows show high school. Like everybody's a bully. As soon as you walk in, it's like, oh, look at the new guy. He's Asian. But,
damn.
Right? Like. But nobody ever thought, like, if you were the new kid at school, nobody was like, oh my God, there's, they're probably like, oh, new kid, vaccine. I'm sure there's some, But on TV, they show, like, that's how it is. Like, oh, look at that guy's so short. Is those hand-me-down pants? Oh my God, those must be his cousin's pants. But that's where you're thinking they're going to think when you go into
those are your actual thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're real thoughts.
No, not the Asian part. I was talking about for you.
Oh, well, yeah, you're a quarter Filipino.
Quarter.
Yeah, you're a quarter. Yeah, you're right. I'm full.
Wait, what Asian are you?
Josh, how long have we been friends for?
I know, but I don't ever remember.
Just guess. Guess correctly. Otherwise, get the fuck out of my house.
Let me look around.
Okay, right there. I'll give you a chance. That's Asian.
I can't fucking read that.
That's Asian writing. What kind of Asian writing is that? Then you'll figure out what I am.
It's not Japanese, because Japanese is very aggressive.
I'm just going to wait for your
even
answer.
in the pictures.
I'm not going to give you any... Did you say Japanese really aggressive? The kanji's very aggressive?
It just looks so aggressive.
I'll leave it up to you. Just keep thinking out loud
Korean,
what you think it is.
Right?
Is that your final answer or
That's
no?
my final answer.
Okay, you can stay in the house.
That's what I thought. But I didn't want to get it wrong, because,
I like how you said Japanese is aggressive.
If you look at
they're the least aggressive of the Asians, but the writing is aggressive.
Yeah, even the way they talk sometimes is a little aggressive.
Oh, it can seem
kind
aggressive.
It's kind of like when people speak in Arabic, sometimes they're thinking they're being aggressive, but
they go like, I had like 3 Arabic
language.
roommates. They go like, El khalaso, el habibi, yalla kho.
But I think it's that makes it sound so aggressive.
Yeah. It's just a part. But if you take that off, it's like, yalla, habibi, hello. It's nice. But, yalla, habibi.
So when I was in Cuba, they would pray and they would open up like the feet trace slot. And some of the guys it sounded nice, the prayer. I don't know what the fuck they were saying.
Isn't it in Spanish? Don't they speak Spanish over in Cuba?
It's Arabic.
In Cuba?
I worked in a prison for like...
Oh, you're talking about the prison? Oh,
I worked in the prison, like Guantanamo Bay prison was like a lot of...
Muslims?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you were listening to the... I mean, it sounds nice, though. It does sound nice. Like, I do like some of the music and all that, too.
I don't know about their music.
I know a song. It goes, Habibi, 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 I'll know the lion. It's an Egyptian song.
But what does it mean?
I don't fucking know.
I thought you knew the meaning.
I don't know. I just learned it because I would live with Arab roommates, and then we would just eat Arab food, and then I just like would dance with them and stuff. Like Arab.
How is Arab? Well, I think I've had a couple of dishes. How is Korean food?
Very healthy, very delicious.
What's your favorite Korean
food? A lot of meat and veggies. I like. Everybody always talks about Korean barbecue, but I don't. It's whatever. That's just fucking barbecue shit. But I like the dishes. I'm talking like
if your mom
kalbitang. Kalbitang is like a short rib stew. That's just fire as fuck. Kimchi jjigae. That's like a kimchi, like a soup stew thing, with like meat and shit. You have pork in it or spam. I had some with spam today. And then like, yeah, there's a lot of good. A shit ton of side dishes.
You're making me hungry.
A lot of side dishes in Korean food, like seasoned veggies with sauces, and that's why like
Asians are always skinny.
Yeah, Koreans, we have very, very healthy food, and we're used to eating like a variety. So you have like your main meat and like your rice and your kimchi, and then like at least like 2 or 3 other sides that are there. So I grew up eating like that. So I like to, and then we put it in all of it in our mouth, and then we mix it like a blender, and we eat it all at once.
Kind of like a burrito.
They like a burrito. That's why I don't get when people eat like they get a burger and fries and they eat the fries first and look at them like they're sick in the head. Like,
I do see people like that. Yeah, that is so weird.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What's the point?
Or they eat their mashed potatoes first, and then they eat their broccoli, and then they eat their meat, or whatever. Like I like to mix all of it. I mix everything, no matter what I'm eating.
I feel like that's the point of it, is it not?
I'll even get a hot Cheeto and throw it in there and try it out. You know,
right? Like a chef. A chef, when they put all those things together, they're thinking how it tastes together. They're not like eat it all separate, unless it's like omakase for fucking sushi, but they hand it to you separately, like one at a time. That's different. But yeah, I don't know. Whenever I see that, I get worried. I look at them like they got a problem in there with their head. Yeah, I judge them.
Or are we the ones with the problem that we mix our food?
No, you know what? Because we're all inclusive.
True.
We're good people. They go by systematic racism. Yeah, separate the green from the grain. Oh, right. Separate the grain.
Well, what if they process it better that way?
Isn't it all going in the stomach at the same time, like a melting pot at the end of the day?
I don't know how they think. I'm saying, what if that's their process?
Oh.
What if they poop better?
Shit, I don't know. I've been having to poop the whole fucking last 20 minutes. I'm trying to hold it for this podcast, dude. It's like, because I've been constipated lately. I got food poisoning, and then I had food poisoning a week ago. And
you were telling me.
Yeah, food poisoning a week ago. And then I had to act in a short film. The first day I felt the food poisoning hard for 10 hours. I was dying. I was fucking dying, but somehow I survived. And then the director really liked my last scene where I had to be angry and like, I'm so mad. I'm like, just talking under my breath. But I was talking under my breath because I was dying.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was perfect. Yeah. Well, I was shitting all day. I had to keep leaving after I did my scene, go get diarrhea, come back and do that. And then I get home, I collapsed, and I was like, oh, you know, like that. I was like, oh, and I felt all the pain. And I just fever, more diarrhea. I couldn't retain any liquids. And then I went to sleep in pain, and then would wake up to take multiple diarrheas. And then I actually slept for a little bit. And then I woke up and my ass was wet, and I shit the bed, dude. I shit my bed for the first time in decades.
Are you going to cut that out?
No, I want them to know it. No, trust me. Like, they know, everybody listening to my podcast knows way too much about me. Like, this is like something
That's
so
why they
small.
listen.
Yeah, surprisingly. I don't know why. But thank you guys. I love you all. But yeah, I fucking diarrheaed myself.
He did tell me the story when we were on the phone the other day.
Yeah, but I had to tell it on the podcast now. I need the world to know the truth. But I did it. Hey, but so like, you have a son and you do comedy everywhere in the nation. Like, how do you balance that?
So, I spend a lot of time at home. Like, that's why I don't do like a lot of open mics and stuff like that, because why am I going to drive down to do an open mic and then miss time with him. Like, so if I'm home, I'm home, or I take him with me. Like if I go to Vegas, or if I'm a week in Vegas, I'll take him with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's like a bonding time.
So it's not bad. I mean, I feel like I balance it well. Some people, like when they give you that unwanted advice or like you don't even know them, and they're like, "Hey, well, you need to make sure you spend time with your son, more time with them." I'm like, you don't even know my life, bro. How are you even gonna?
People say that to you?
Yeah, like you need to spend more time with your son and stop being on the road so much.
Like family members or who?
No, like it'll be like a random comic on the show that we're just talking or whatever, and then they just, a lot of people try to do that. I'm like, you don't even know how much time I spend with my son. I'm with my son like every day.
Yeah, why would they say that?
You know what I mean? Like when I went to Texas was the longest I've been away from him. When we were gone 2 weeks, that's the longest I was away from my son. That's 2 weeks and that was in January. End of January. 2 weeks, and he's 4. So I think I do a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, they're making it sound like you're gone away from him.
Yeah, like I'm just like I never spent time.
You're
with
like neglecting him or some shit.
Yeah, the dude is definitely not neglected.
But that's weird that that's like the thing that they would go to.
Yeah,
instead of asking before just you need.
No,
to spend
but
more time
a lot of people just assume because I do comedy that like you do know me at all? No. So why the fuck are you even trying to butt in, bitch?
Or maybe they do that because they're having a hard time comprehending. And, yeah, shitty parents. They're just projecting some shit too, right? Like that's the only real reason.
Yeah. No, but I think I balance it well. Like we have a good relationship. His mom is always there too, so she helps me so much. So it's good though. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's like getting out of that baby phase now. He's like a big boy.
Dude.
Now I can start punching him.
You could.
When he's in trouble, just punch him in the face like my dad would do me. Like,
yeah, but in like 3 more years, you're only going to be punching his stomach because he's going to be so much taller than you.
I hope so. I hope that's the case, bro. I hope so. We took him to the doctor and they said that he was average size a couple months ago, I think. Maybe longer, but he's on track to being an average human being.
Because how tall are you again?
I'm like 5'3.5".
Are you really?
Literally and a half.
Fuck, bro. I thought you were
5'4". The army would give me 5'4". Because they would round up. They would round up. Yeah, probably for the confidence of them. Yeah, I'm tall.
Because 5'4" sounds so much taller than 5'3.5". Because I was like, I think
I never say 3.5. The only reason I say that because you asked. But for real, like I'm literally in the middle of 5'3" and 5'4". Like right. Like I couldn't just be
5'3" is like damn. Like I think you're like a midget.
Yeah, you can't say that word, bro. You can't say that word.
Oh yeah, I mean you're a
got in trouble
little person.
At that show that I did in Vegas. I got in trouble for saying midget.
At the on stage.
No, after I got in trouble.
Where did you say it?
I said it on stage. I said there's.
Oh no, I don't say it on stage. I want to say it because it's a podcast.
Well, I don't say anything bad about midgets. I just say that there was this midget detainee because he was a midget. He was, and he used to rap. We used to call him King Daniel.
What was he called?
King Daniel because he would rap.
King Daniel.
But I used the word midget, and then I guess this lady has a son that's a midget, and it was a big thing. So now I'm writing a joke about it, actually.
Yeah. Did you say, hey, I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to call your midget son a midget.
No.
No, I know little person. I know. I got little people friends.
But then again, so I've met people too. I don't have anyone close to me that I know, right? But I've heard some people say that they prefer the word midget, not dwarf, because dwarf. Every time you think of a dwarf, you think of like Lord of the Rings or like a TV show. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dwarf makes him sound way smaller.
Or some people like little people. Like
it's a preference,
But really, I feel like a lot of them that I've talked to, like they don't care. It doesn't seem like at least those ones that I've talked to don't care, right? I mean, it's only a handful, but
isn't that kind of what society is now? It's just a small handful of people that are screaming the loudest and getting outraged and just mad over all kinds of shit.
Over what, man? Just shut up and be a better parent or something, man.
Or just fucking
shut up.
Figure life out and try to
figure your life out. Don't worry about me saying midget.
Yeah, and you're part of your own world.
You're a midget. No, your son's a midget. So shut up.
You shut up.
Let him speak for himself.
He's that forever.
He's only 8 years old. What do you think, little guy? How do you feel about? He's like, wait, mom, I'm a midget.
The guy didn't know that.
Damn, this is 2 podcasts that I've brought up the midget term. Good thing they don't follow me. This is back to the prison. I know this is like way off topic.
No.
This is a very interesting point that we're talking about kids now. Put it this way. So in prison, this is the politics of it, which is wild. I've never understood it. If you're a child molester, and you cannot walk a normal yard. They'll kill you.
Okay.
You're not allowed to walk a yard.
You're greenlit by everybody.
Yeah. You're not allowed to. You're not welcome in prison. But if you sex traffic children and you tested those children out before you sold them, which essentially is a child molestation, correct?
Because you physically tested them.
Yes. Let's just say they didn't test them. Let's just cancel that out of the equation. They just sex traffic children. They're allowed to walk a yard. How is that fucking...
What?
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because the way I look at it...
fucking...
It's almost...
selling a...
Yeah, right?
You're doing the deed without doing the deed. Just
you're
because
selling them to multiple people.
Yeah.
To be used for sex slavery.
Isn't that crazy?
So in a way, they're both horrible, but I'm going
to get greenlit for telling the secret.
I'm sure people have talked about it too.
No, I'm sure that it's not a secret.
It's not a secret.
A lot of people don't know it. I know a lot of people do know it, but then there's a lot of people that don't know.
I don't know that because I watch a lot of
That was the craziest thing that I've ever seen. I'm like, oh,
but that see the loophole in that is insane.
Maybe if they do fuck him. I know there was one guy that I know fucked him.
They fucked him up?
No, fucked him.
But he got away? Like he's allowed to be on the prison yard?
Yeah, he was on the yard.
Because he just tested them, but he wasn't like...
Yeah. But I don't know how many of them, maybe they didn't know, or maybe, I don't know. Because I would think if you did do that to a kid, right? Like you'd be greenlit.
You should be greenlit because you technically did the crime but then they're like, let me see your papers. Oh, well, you didn't get arrested for that. You got arrested for selling
You
kids.
just dabbled in a juice box. You didn't drink the whole thing.
You didn't get the whole carton.
It's just crazy, man. Like the politics in prison are crazy.
That's so weird. Like what are some other stuff?
I don't know. Oh, okay. I'll tell you the first day on the job.
Okay.
That's a funny story. Okay. So first day on the job, I almost said the race because every time I say the story, it's the race. Anyway, doesn't matter. The race doesn't matter.
But it matters in prison.
I'm working with this piece of shit. He actually got fired for lying with like the VA or some shit.
A CO?
Yeah. He ended up getting fired.
And what's a VA?
The VA, the Veterans Affairs. Like he lied with like some school shit and ended up getting fired.
Got it.
Anyway, that's besides the point. So he was, his advice was just terrible, right? I could tell he was a piece of shit, right? And everybody like, hey, be careful with that guy. Be careful with that guy. But I go in there and I'm working the midnight to 8 a.m. shift. And it was still early too, which is crazy because it wasn't like it was like late at night where we would be like not paying attention. Plus I was new. So I'm doing my rounds and at this time there's like lights on. And this was going on while the lights were on. So I'm doing my rounds. I get to the top tier and I'm like looking in there with my flashlight. And then this light was on and I go and there's this dude standing up on top of the... Okay, so they have bunk beds in this facility. The bunk beds are like over here. And right next to it is like a metal desk attached to the wall. So the dude is standing on top of the desk. And then there's another guy on the top bunk, and he's sucking his dick. Yeah.
Wait.
Because the other guy was really tall, so I don't know if it was easier for him. I don't know what the math was, but the reasoning behind him standing on the... Maybe they just were like he was standing there, and he's like, I don't know, touching the wall.
Wait, 2 convicts?
Yeah. So
were they like scary looking convicts?
Yeah.
And
he was like
he's a homo thug.
They
call them
boy.
homo thugs, right?
Yeah. I don't know what that...
Oh, so he's a big muscular dude sucking off the other guy.
They're both big dudes. So that's why, like, I don't know.
Scary.
What's funny to me is he was standing. Like, why are you sucking his dick? Like, it's just role playing or something? Or like
role play. I'm the girl.
And this is the first day that I worked inside the facility, and so I go with my flashlight, and the light turned off. So because sometimes they'd have strings like attached or like little mechanisms where like on their bunk they could just hit their little string, and then it would pull the light switch down. So I think that's kind of they had something set up because I didn't go in there because Compound ended up taking them out, so I don't remember. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So the light turned off, but I still have my fucking flashlight on, and then he jumps off the thing, and then they're acting like they're... Anytime they're doing anything wrong in prison, bro, like whether it's tattooing, like they'll be sitting there tattooing, right? And then you walk by and they just throw the tattoo gun up, and then they're acting like they're cleaning up the floor or something, and the other guy's like right? And then
Yeah.
but they're like on top of each other as he's tattooing them, right? Like it's the stupidest. It's so fun. It's like little kids.
So they're like fucking each other, and then somebody comes and they, gotta clean this. Gotta clean the bunk.
What?
But they're on top of each other.
He's getting his dick and just spitting it.
It's oh shit. Oh,
I've
that's
never
not the
seen
broom?
anybody
That's not the
fucking.
broom?
This was like the most sexual thing that I caught.
Yeah. So no, you haven't seen fucking yet, but you saw that. Dick suck.
So, and it was just crazy because I didn't know what to do. I just been home like, what are you guys doing in there? Like, nothing. I just went. So I just stopped my rounds, go back downstairs to tell the guy that's been there forever.
Yeah.
Hey man, those dudes were just fucking blowing each other in there. And he's like, okay. I'm like, what do you mean okay? He's like, did you tell him to stop? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're good. I'm like, I thought they couldn't like do that in here. I thought that was bad, right? Like, no, just don't worry about it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So then he ends up going to the bathroom, and I call my friend. I'm like, hey, bro, like I just caught these two dudes, like fucking this one guy blowing him. Like, what do I do? He's like, bro, call lieutenant. I was like, no, I don't know. So he ends up calling or he tells his partner what happened. The partner ends up calling the lieutenant. The lieutenant calls me. He's like, what the fuck's going on down there? And then the dude's still gone. And I'm like, well, not, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what the fuck? And he's like, and you didn't call me? I'm like, well, I don't know. I was told not to call you. He's like, who are you working with? And I told him. He's like, oh, all right. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to send compound down there. So then compound goes down. They come, they start picking, they're handcuffing the inmates, taking them out. And then now everybody's awake because they hear the keys, they hear the doors, they hear all this commotion. So all the inmates are, hey, what happened? What happened? Man, we're going to shoe over some bullshit. Over bullshit, bro. You just had your homie's dick in your mouth.
Yo, that's bullshit. Crazy.
Yeah, that was my first day on the job, bro.
Wait, but why is that? Why is that a problem?
So
that's what I'm curious about.
So they can't have sex in prison. There's no consensual sex in prison.
Interesting. Okay.
There's none. So like if they're doing it, that's technically considered rape.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, because there is no consent.
It's not rape, but there's no consent, so it's bad.
Even if they consent, there's no consent.
So let's say
that was forced dick swallowing.
Yeah. So let's say I was hooking up with the female inmate or a guy inmate, whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's no, even if he wanted it or she wanted it, they can't consent sex in there to anybody, to inmates or stuff. Yeah, there's no sex. Sex, no sex. There's a big sign on the door that says no sex.
Really?
No. Just on my office door, I'm like, no sex.
What's some fucking jacked ass inmates that fucked people up?
Bro, they were like big boys, big boys.
Did they look gay? Like you wouldn't have even known?
No, fuck no.
And they're just sucking each other out.
Just blowing each other. Well, one was blowing him. I'm not sure if he blew him first. Maybe that's why he was on the table, because he was blowing him on the bed.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want him laying on his bed, because that's nasty.
Did he look like he was having fun? Like he enjoyed it?
Well, the other guy was really into it. I only got like a glimpse of it, but if your mouth is wrapped around another man's penis, you must be enjoying it.
Yeah, that's true, because it takes another level. Because I don't even really like eating pussy, to be honest.
Yeah. You got to be a special individual.
Yeah, like to love it like that. I like having sex, but I don't really like eating pussy. Anyway, so yeah, that whole fucking so I can't even imagine like sticking a fucking
because I'm sure that
meat in my mouth.
Was he gay before?
Probably not. Or okay, here's what I think. I think everybody's got the capacity to a certain degree. Like there's like they say like sexuality is kind of like a spectrum. So there's like levels to like maybe you could be like 15% kind of gay. Like 15.
That makes sense.
And then the rest is like straight, right? Or you could be like that jack guy who's sucking another guy off, and he's probably inside. Maybe that's why he got so jacked, because he always felt kind of weird, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fighting it." So that's why he got so big, and got into like overly quote unquote masculine like activity with fighting and gang and all that stuff. And then he goes to prison, and he's like, "Hey, yo, honestly, man, shit, I've always wanted to suck a dick." That's why I have these muscles.
Or two, that I've always thought, like, what happens? I didn't even look into like what they did to get him.
Yeah.
Which I think if that happened like later in my career while I was there, I might have looked into it a little more. Mm-hmm. But what happens when, let's say you go to jail and they tell you you're going to serve the rest of your life in prison? Yeah. You're never going to get pussy again. Like that, I'm sure that there's a switch that has to be switched. Like
100%. That has to, for anybody to a certain level. Kind
of like, okay, so have you ever just like left home or left your girlfriend or whatever, right, for like a couple of days, and then you see this, I don't know, because it happens in the military, like when you leave and you're like gone, right? And then you're with, let's say, Becky, right? Becky's a 3 in the real world. But while you're in the field, the more days that go on, Becky just gets better looking and better looking.
Yeah.
24 hours later, you're like, she's a 10, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but it's true. Like, what if, I mean, what does that switch just get twisted over? Because you know you're never going to, fuck a chick again. So you're just, maybe they've been in the pen for 10 years and they're just.
It has to. It has to for some people. I'm sure with others are like, maybe they're like, damn, I just want to like fuck something.
Just so desperate.
But then they fight it and then they fight it until they die.
He's like, ooh, he has some
and
nice
they just like jack off.
lips.
Yeah, dude. I mean, or like that guy who's like a trans.
Or maybe he owed him money.
Gender. What?
Maybe he owed him money.
I don't know, man. Because it sounds like.
Because some people are like, did you do that for money?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've seen the documentaries where they say like, yeah, they had to either trade, they have to pay them back or trade them sexual favors to like, do that.
God damn it.
Yeah. No, but
bet on the Raiders.
A hand job is different than on your mouth, dog. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like the mouth thing.
That has to be a whole nother level of
because the way you said
intimacy,
it made it sound
right?
like he was like deep throating him almost.
Yeah, his whole dick was in his mouth.
That's what I'm saying. That's like not forced behavior. That's a choice, I feel like.
Yeah, right.
In prison.
And it wasn't like a traditional like he's on the bed laying there or standing up and he's on his knee, right? He was like, it's like
his feet were swinging back
and
forth when he's on his stomach.
He was like it's like he was laying on the bottom bunk. He's like, hey, you want to suck my dick? And then he's like, nah, I'm not really in the mood. He's like, I'll come up there.
I'm not in the mood.
He's like, I'll come up there. He's like, we don't got enough space up here. He's like, all right, I'll just stand on the table. All right, I'll do it. And they just laying there, just.
But see, that's what girls.
You're right.
That's what girls you date would do because they'll suck your dick in different angles. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why, like, I think, like what you said, I'm not gonna fucking get out.
I'm tired.
I want to bust a nut,
but I'll do it.
But then it's like you have like after you bust a nut, you
like
have
how we're
post nut clarity.
dissecting this right now.
I mean, this is like some real life shit though. Like, let me tell you this.
I started to write a joke about it like 5 years ago, and I never could figure out how to tell it with it being funny, without it being gay or weird.
Like just gay. You want to make it funny and gay.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we gonna say?
So I've asked my comedian friend, my gay comedian friends, this, right? Because they've talked about certain things about it is. I don't mean to be racist to gay people, but yeah, my gay friends, and they would make jokes on stage about like turning straight guys without even trying to turn them. Like they kind of want to.
It's like a game.
Like suck. Hey, you want to suck my dick? Like saying shit like that. And then I asked 2 of them in particular who would say stuff like that on stage. I said, hey, is it true like that you meet straight guys who you're hanging out alone and then they just kind of say, hey, you want to suck my dick? And they both said it happens all the time. And I didn't even comprehend that as like a thing. So that tells me there's a lot of low key guys out there that want that shit. And maybe they're like gay to a certain degree. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just don't get girls. So they just want a dick suck and they think it's easier because a guy. I mean, like it's been proven Grindr is way easier because guys are horny. So guys are more likely. Like my gay friends are like, I could turn on Grindr right now and and fuck someone's ass in like 10 minutes or some crazy thing. Because it doesn't work like that on Tinder, with guys and girls. So I can see why desperation can lead to that. But they said it happens all the time. They said there's comedians that hang out alone and then smoke weed together. And I know that guy who's like the so-called straight guy knows this dude's gay. Let's smoke weed. Let's get a little high. That already is like a kind of that's like gay. Like it's like a little gay date thing going on. And then, hey, you want to?
So you're saying
what if you just like suck my dick? Hey, like that, right? You know what I mean? And they're like, fuck it, why not? Because they're, you know what I mean? So you see what I'm. Because whenever I smoked weed with like friends in the past, when I used to be a pothead, and then like sometimes it would be like a group, sometimes it would be just like us two like hanging out and we'll play games, like video games. I didn't think, hey, maybe he could suck my dick. I didn't think that, Yeah,
I've never. I have a gay comedian friend. I never thought like, let's have him suck my dick.
Right. So that's why I think. But also,
because we've been on the road to like Phoenix.
He probably would have sucked your dick too.
No, maybe.
How do you know?
No, I don't.
How do you know? Try asking him. Send him a text right now. Be like, hey, would you be down to suck my dick?
I was actually gonna text him earlier because one of his shows got canceled.
You should do it for a test, just to see, and then this podcast will prove that you're not actually like trying to do it, but just to see. But I could also change your friendship because now that door's open, and even if it's like a joke,
Why don't you do it to your gay comedian friend? Why do I got to be the guinea pig on the fake suck? But because they told you.
Yeah, they told me. I don't know anybody else that.
I only have like one.
Because I asked them.
Gay comedian friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I know others, but like I wouldn't consider them a friend.
Well, because when I talk to my gay friends, they're
You're
like,
the only, I guess
they just talk like it's cool. They're like,
gay.
yeah, it's cool. I'll suck your dick, like whatever, like just like chilling, like whatever. That's what they were just talking like. That's why I was like, maybe it is kind of like that. I don't know, because I don't know. But that's why maybe that big prisoner guy just was like, I'm gonna suck him off because I just need some kind of, and also it's a way to escape the reality, you know, through pleasure, like fucking your way to pleasure.
How are you? Okay, now the guy getting his dick sucked is one thing, right? Like,
yeah, he could pretend as a girl.
but the guy,
A girl with big hands.
sucking the dick, like there had to have been something going on there. Like you said, like maybe he was just, or like we were talking about, maybe he was just lazy and he didn't want to come down. So he's like, "You come up here, but I don't want you on my bed because we're too big to be." Because they were too big, they wouldn't have fit on the bed. So I think
Yeah.
maybe that was the reason behind it. That's why he was on the table because.
Well, I mean, he's still gonna suck the dick regardless, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sure it could be either sexual favor or maybe they just really wanted. He just wanted to fucking do it. But I don't know, man. I think that's why the looks isn't accurate way to tell what type of person.
I wish I would have
human
looked into it more. At the time, I was just so like, wow, that happened. I work in a prison. Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
but the psychology behind it's got to be really interesting, right?
I want to know why he was sucking his dick. If you're watching,
Why'd you suck his dick? All right, tell us.
no judgment here. We just
Yeah.
want to know. I just,
Yeah, because prison is like a completely different world, right?
yeah, it's a whole
Like-
different world, bro.
The politics and rules. I mean, you gave a little example of it. You know, I'm sure there's some other stuff that's
There's a lot of stupid rules.
like what's another like a rule thing?
I know that some gangs like work out together every day.
Like opposite gangs?
No, they're like the same gang.
Because they have to, right? Because they have to be strong to get ready for war and battle, and to show everybody.
Some
that,
people are designated to carry knives in their butt.
Okay, that's
Same-
interesting.
Same thing with the sex thing. Like if they either have to exchange sexual favors or whatever. Same concept. Someone's told like, okay, well you can't do nothing else, and you're the guy that carries a knife in your butt.
So they have to just keep it in there in case they have to go to war.
My partner called me next door one time, and this inmate was being like all rowdy and shit. And I told him, I was like, hey man, like, cause I used to work next door, and I was like, hey, you know how I am, dude. I go home in 2 hours. I was on mandatory overtime. I was like, I don't want to be here, so don't fuck around. Just fucking do your shit and let's just get it done. He's like, all right, CO, I'm gonna be honest with you right away. He squatted down, he pulled a knife out of his ass. No lube, nothing, bro. It was just
Damn,
like in
just
there,
easy?
not wrapped up. No, I'm lying.
Oh, not wrapped up.
I'm lying.
So
It was wrapped up in toilet paper, but no lube, nothing to like, no like bag. I don't even know how he got it in there.
but it could puncture his.
The point was sticking
Asshole?
down.
Oh, so come straight out.
So like I guess if it were to pop out, it would just like
The sharp end first. Yo, that's crazy.
yeah. What other weird thing happens in prison?
So nobody ever punctured their own intestines or.
I'm sure. I mean, I know that like people have put drugs in their butt and it's exploded. I mean, I've seen it on TV before. Like I read like an article where this guy had 6 balloons of heroin in his ass and 2 popped. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
Like, yeah.
And he went to
I've
heaven
seen
with
that.
Tupac.
Yeah.
Tupac for Tupac.
What else? I was just gonna say something when we were talking about the knife, and then it went away because.
Oh, my bad. Because I
okay.
interrupted. My fault.
I don't know. It's crazy shit.
Different
Prison,
rules,
bro,
different
yeah.
things. Politics. You ever see people hold hands on the yard?
No,
Yeah.
I seen in a transition unit, not like sexual transition or anything like that. Just like they were there temporarily.
Yeah.
There was these guys from this other country, and they slept in the same bed, feet to head. But
Oh,
I guess in their
opposite?
country,
Opposite?
I guess in their country, it's like a normal thing.
Okay.
I don't remember what they were like. Not Lebanese
I mean, that's not really that
or nothing
weird,
like that,
but I guess for prison it could be.
started
weird.
with an L. It wasn't Lebanese. Maybe it was
Not Lebanon?
It was something. It was definitely from the Middle East somewhere with an L. But they slept in the same bed, and that was weird because we're like, there's fucking guys, dude. There's guys sleeping in the same bed. Yeah, over here too. What do we do? Oh, I don't know. And then
Shit. Culturally, huh?
yeah,
Damn. I mean, I guess that's kind of a good thing that you didn't have too crazy of an experience in a sense.
no, I mean it sucked. I mean, there's like a lot of shit that I've seen that a normal person probably shouldn't deal
Like what,
with
though?
or see. You know, just even people getting stabbed and shit. You're not supposed to be like exposed.
Did you
to
physically
shit.
see somebody get stabbed? Like the act of it? Oh,
yeah.
you watched people get stabbed.
I don't
Not just
watch
the
it. Go, oh
aftermath.
shit! Someone's getting beat up. Oh, that's a knife. Oh god. Oh no. You know
Oh
what I mean?
shit!
Like,
Yeah.
get in there. But I mean, I don't know, man. And again, it was like normal because it was, that's part of your job. Like you just see people get beat up. Like, oh, that guy's getting his head smashed into the ground. It's normal, right? Like that guy's sucking a dick. It was normal. Actually, that was crazy. I didn't ever see anything like that again. But I know other people seen it.
Yeah. You didn't hear echoes of guys like moaning and getting railed in the ass?
No.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do when they were on lockdown? Is they used to throw kites. What they would have like a piece of floss or string, and then they would have like a nail cutter, and then they would throw it to fucking across the unit. And then if he missed, he would just keep they would just keep fishing in there, right? Finally, they get it to the thing, and then they would pass notes of drugs, food, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say the guy's name was Cricket or Spider or whatever. Like, hey, Spider, send it. Hey, shoot it. So, they would do it. I'm like, I would interrupt. And like, if I knew that Spider was the one throwing the line, and I'd be sitting in the thing and I would act like I was him. Like, no, to the left. So then he's throwing it to the left. And then he's like, no, to the right. And so we're just going back and forth. Like, what is it, fucking left or right? That's a fucking CO, bro. That's a fucking CO. Stop that. Or, if his name was Chewy or whatever, he's on top and somebody was trying to get a hold of him earlier, and I'll just yell, hey, Chewy! And then be like, what's up? And then shoot the line. And then he's throwing where? And he's throwing the line, and I'm the one telling him to throw the line, and he's just throwing it to nowhere, bro.
That's funny as fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I would just do stupid shit like that. Like, I would just mess with them. Or like if I found like a tattoo gun or something, like I wouldn't take it from them. I would just take it apart, like take it piece by piece, and then I would just hide it all over their cell. Oh, sometimes they would never find
just for shits and giggles?
Yeah.
And they had no idea?
No. They wouldn't. I mean, they knew I took it. They're like, see, oh, come on, that's how I made my money, man. That's how I take my money. Yeah. I didn't take it, bro.
Which wasn't a lie, because you didn't take it.
I didn't take it. So I remember what I was going to tell you now.
Yeah.
So there's one time, this was an accident. There was this guy that didn't speak very good English, and I found tobacco. I thought it was drugs, but it was just a sack of tobacco. And he comes into the cell, like, as I'm doing it, he didn't know. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, CEO, I'm sorry. And then I have it in my hand, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'll do whatever. I was like, get out of the way, get out of the way, right? And my partner was in there, and then he was like, we thought it was drugs, and then he opens it, and he's like, oh, it's not drugs, it's tobacco. So then he didn't want to take it, because it's like, it wasn't a big shot, right? So he's like, just fucking leave it. I was like, no, we're not going to just leave it. Just throw it. At least take it and throw it away. He's not supposed to have it, right? And then the inmate's like right outside the door, and he's talking. He's like, you guys didn't take it? And I was like, man, yeah, bro, you got to eat it, or I'm going to write you up. And I was kidding. Like, I was actually, I wanted to take it, but the other guy's like, no, he's been there way longer. So I was like, whatever, dude. Like, so the guy gets it, and he fucking... But I was like, I was joking, and he swallowed it, and he starts throwing up.
Oh, shit.
Like, oh, shit. But the tobacco was no good. Moral of the story. I don't even know if I'm supposed to... Am I allowed to say that? Can I get trouble? It don't matter, bro.
I don't think so. I mean, I've heard way crazier stories on YouTube.
Yeah, there's...
COs and stuff. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't watch YouTube stuff like that.
Yeah.
So send me some.
No, I watched a lot. No, I watched like a lot. I've been watching
like
prison documentaries and everything since I was like middle school. Like, I've had a huge like lockup.
A lot of people like it, man, but it's not all. What you see on TV is just all the bad stuff. I'm sure that those scenes were filmed like weeks apart, or it could be months apart. Like they're just giving you all the bad shit. They don't tell you like how it really is, I guess. I mean, it's like any job, right? Like, you could just be walking down, la la la, oh shit. Well,
what were some good stuff? How about we talk about some good stuff? If you have any memories of,
I don't think there's good stuff.
Besides you having some friendships,
making money, I guess.
Making money. I mean, that's kind of.
I would fuck with them. Like, I literally would just mess with inmates. Like, that's what I would do, bro. Like, I would just move stuff around, like, take things apart that they weren't supposed to have, or if they had like a bunch of porn, like it's just out in the open, like a lot of staff would take it. But like, I mean, I ain't gonna fucking take it, bro. Like, the dude's in there for 20 years. What the fuck am I gonna take his jerk material for? So I would just hide it all over his cell, bro. You know what I mean? Or if there was like naked pictures, because the women's staff would get mad if there's like naked pictures up and about and stuff, right? Yeah. So I'd just take them down, and I would either like throw them on their bed, or I would like let's say I found something they shouldn't have, like alcohol, right? Like, most of the time I wrote them up for alcohol though. Like, but if I found something stupid like tobacco, I'd take the tobacco, And then they would come and complain to me like, "Hey man, you took that unit. It's not even that big of a deal." But then I'd be like, "Yeah, but look at all the shit that I found that I left stacked up on your bed. And I could have taken that too." Because I would stack it just to let them know, like, "Hey, you fucked up. I'm taking this, but I could have taken all this too." Or like extra shit that they took from the chow hall, like an onion or whatever. Like I would leave that right there, like, "Hey, bitch,
An onion, a whole onion."
Yeah, like because they steal it from the chow hall. Some guys would be wrapped with like if they stole cheese. They'd leave the chow hall and they would have like a jacket on, but you can tell they had some, and then you would find just bags strapped on their bodies or bags of apples strapped around their bodies and stuff.
Just like a Rambo belt of apples.
Yeah, like a fucking, or they'd have like a sling of it. You know, it looks like a shotgun fucking
with the bullets.
Yeah.
But it's like
Apples.
fucking bananas and apples and shit.
Because they would cook. So what they would do is they would take the food from the chow hall, like the guys that worked there, or maybe they would pass it to like their homies or whatever, and then they would take it to the room because the beds are metal, and then they have like a mattress that goes over it. But they would move the mattress. They would scrape the paint off, and then they would cook right there through the light switch. They would like somehow power it to make it hot, and then they would cook right there.
Damn.
And you could smell when they were cooking.
And then if you smell it as a CO, would you be going around like trying to investigate, or like, whatever, they're cooking, who cares?
If it was bad, yeah. But if sometimes you wouldn't catch them, you'd just go look and you wouldn't catch them. But one time we found like a whole. It was it Cinco de Mayo? It was a Mexican holiday, some Mexican holiday. I show up on shift and we're counting, and we go by this inmate cell, and dude had layers and layers of like what are those things called? They're not they weren't tacos. They were like kind of like a
taquitos.
No, they were the circle. Were they? Is it pupusa or?
I mean, there's pupusas.
It was something like that, but there was like I'd say like 500, 600 of them stacked.
Are you serious?
And then they had buckets of oil that they were frying the fucking shells in and stuff.
Oh, what?
So it was his unit. He shuts it down, kicks inmates out. The inmates go to shoe, and then there's just hundreds, bro. And 2 plastic buckets full of boiling oil in a plastic fucking bucket, right? So we end up clearing it out, and they're all pissed off. No, that's for our party or whatever, right? And then the next day, I worked there again, and then there's a guy with a tray walking by, fucking with those things on it, cooked already. But this time, that guy, like again, like this was like when I was newer too, so like I didn't like to step on like older officers' toes. Like they would tell me how it should go or how it should go down, and that dude just let them fucking walk across and give those things to the other unit, and they're just passing them. So they were still cooking in another cell, another couple thousand of them or whatever, and just passing them out, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because the older CLs were like, let them eat.
Yeah, it depends on who you work with. Everybody's different. Everybody handles things different. Yeah. And then, like I said, when you're newer, you don't want to be that guy that's like, no, take that back in there, give it to me, drop it on. You know, like, I mean, I kind of would just go with the flow just because, like, let's say this guy's been here 5 years. I only got a month in. Why am I going to step on his toes when he runs his shit a certain way?
True, and that probably keeps a certain level of smoothness and peace amongst the CLs and inmates because it's just food. They're not... Food is peacetime, right? It's a party.
It just depends, man, like on what it is. Like, okay, if you find 5,000 of them, all right, bro, I got to take them because that's excessive, right?
Yeah.
But like if you know that guy just... You knew he got that food in his bowl from the chow hall, or you catch him, doing something that shouldn't be. Like you would take the stinger. I would just take the stinger. I wouldn't write him up or nothing. Just give me the fucking stinger.
What, the tattoo gun?
No, the stinger is like a cord that they plug into the outlet, and that's how they get hot. Give me the stinger. Give me all the food. Throw it away, and then I'll just take it. Mm-hmm. But I would tell them, if I catch you doing it, I'm gonna take it. If you do it, they're gonna do it anyways, right? They're gonna tattoo. They're gonna do all that shit. Just don't do it in front of me. Like at least pretend you're fucking doing something else. And that's why when I walk by, they would drop in and be like,
cleaning. The dick's still in the ass.
Yeah.
But CO, we're not thrusting. We're cleaning.
My pants are still on. It's all how you want to handle it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just made sure that my day went smooth. But if they'd fucked up in front of me or fucked up on something big or I found something I shouldn't have found, I'll take it and write them up if it's something that needs to be written up for, you know? It was interesting, man. I mean, it wasn't all bad. But my life now is way better than when I was in there.
Shit, I bet. You get to chill. You get to be at a Korean person's house.
Yeah.
Eating Del Taco.
Yeah.
Overpriced burrito.
Overpriced burrito.
Overpriced burritos, fuck.
Talking about dick sucking in prison.
Yeah.
I could be stuck. What time is it right now? I could be still in prison, bro.
You could still be in prison. It's 4:45.
Yeah, I'd be getting off. I'd be just getting home.
You might be getting off with if you had that big jack guy. He could have been sucking you off.
True.
He could give you a blowy with his big hands. He could lift you up in the air.
My dick wouldn't even fit in his whole hand. It would just fit half.
Yeah. He could make a little seat with his hands for your ass and suck you off.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's like probably 6'5" and
he was big. They're both pretty
half.
big dudes.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you sharing your stories, which is like an interesting take on, because all we hear is the crazy stuff, right? But it's just kind of nice to hear like the fun little slice of life moments in prison, like the cooking stuff and like, hey, like, just, you're being cool. Like, hey, man, it's cool. Like, let them live. Let them be humans. Let them do their thing, even regardless of their mistakes.
Don't let them, that, like I said, like, don't let me catch you fucking do it. Don't be, have at least respect. Okay, let me tell you one more story.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I was newer. I just got off my year. I got put into a housing unit. So I'm like, cool. I'll be in there for 3 months. It's my housing unit 5 days a week. So, they're like, can we work out? And I was like, I don't care, bro. Like, as long as you guys aren't doing stupid shit, don't get me in trouble, whatever, right? And that's how it started. So about a week or two goes by in the quarter and they're working out. And I would see them like do pull-ups on the stairs, all right, whatever, as long as nobody sees them. A week goes by and they're starting to lift weights outside. So they would, their trash cans are about this tall, like little trash cans. And they would line up like 5 of them as a bench and then put like they would like, I don't know how they did it, but they'd make a pad, right? And then they put that on top. And then they would bench press with a broomstick or a mop stick, right? So they're doing this outside the unit. And I'm like, oh, shit. And it looked like 24-hour fitness when I came in, bro. Like a bench, somebody squatting. And I'm like, oh, my God, I don't know. Like, oh, my God, I fucked up. Like, I got to go tell them. Like, I just told them they can do it, and I got to tell them they can't. So I went out there, and I got all, like the black, Mexican, white leaders or whatever. And I'm like, hey, man, you guys are making me look stupid. Do that shit inside the cell. So I told them to do it inside the cell, and it got worse. Like, I would go in there, and then the guy has a squat rack with sandbags on it, or a broomstick with the squat bags, and then there's a fucking guy on his back, and he's squatting 70 pounds and the guy on his back.
Damn.
And then he's deadlifting, and it got worse. It was multiple workouts going on in cells, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, I got like a 24-hour fitness super sport going on in my housing unit, man. And I ended up getting pulled out of the unit and got stuck. Like I got a better post or whatever, and I don't know whatever happened with that. I don't know if they ever shut it down or that super sport went on for the rest of the quarter. Super sport, bro. Oh, God, because I could take advantage. That's what I was getting at earlier when like when I say that they'll do little things to kind of sweeten it up, and then all of a sudden, boom, they just go full blown. Like, oh, well, you said it was one of those, but I was so new that I thought working out, they were cool. Everybody, no fights, no stupid shit went on in my unit. Everybody listened. Yeah. And when I was time for lockdown, I flicked the lights. Everybody was in their cell on time. Nobody was like running to get water last minute shit. So I was like, cool. Like, everybody's cool. I'm cool, And then I was like, oh, man, I fucked up, bro. Yeah.
So that's not allowed either?
No, they're not supposed to work out like with sandbags and stuff because there's no weights in prison. Because I guess there was too many like incidents where I don't know about other companies, I guess you could say, or we would call them like other like state or other states how they do it. But I know at ours there was no weights or stuff like that. So, yeah.
Damn, that's so funny.
That was a funny story.
That's a funny image. Yeah, that's like some shit that I see in like a TV show.
I'm not even exaggerating. There was like 30 cells, maybe. Yeah, I'd say like 30 cells full of people working out. Like just the housing unit was like cleared out, and then everybody's just working out. Like, and I'm like, is it like this in every housing unit where everybody works out, or is it just like this? Or maybe it was people from other units that came over to work out in that movement. Because I was new, I didn't know the faces who belonged to my unit or not. Because you're not supposed to go to other units. If you're in Alpha Block, you stay in Alpha Block. You don't go to, Charlie or whatever. So that could have been it too. Maybe all the guys that want to work out, like, hey, bro, 24-hour fitness and 5 Bravo.
That's funny as fuck.
I didn't think about that until now, bro.
So the main issue is, well, before the problems were like they would use it as weapons, right? But now they're just going to get too fucking big.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm sure it's both, right? Like, you don't want guys, because half the staff didn't work out that worked there, so
they'd be fucked. They'd get overpowered like heavy.
I mean, think about me, man. Some guy that weighs 300 pounds, 6'6". What am I gonna do? I'm gonna fight him? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's game over, man.
I'm
at that
done.
point, yeah,
I'm dead.
You're DED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to just rip my head off or...
And then use your head to suck his dick. Yeah, man.
He's going to fuck my womb just...
It's not...
the hole
Look. You know how they say it's not gay if you don't make eye contact?
Yeah.
Well, it's not gay if you're dead.
Is it not gay?
I don't know.
That's how everybody remembered me. Like, yeah, so we're sorry. We're sorry, we have some bad news. Your son was found dead with the penis in his mouth. Like, how does that... Would they have to tell him?
I don't know.
We found semen inside of his esophagus.
You know what? At least... You know how there's like... you could choose if you want your... like when you die... You can give your organs. You gave your mouth back to society. Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap it up here.
For the greater good.
For the greater good. His head got chopped off for the greater good. All right, Josh. You wanna plug in your socials and everything?
Instagram is jh.comedy. It's jh.comedy.
Comedy.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, YouTube. I'm starting to do the YouTube more. That's also jh.comedy. I switched it to the same as my Instagram, so it's easy to. And it's not DOT. It's literally just a period. Like JH. Boop.
Period.
Wait. Yeah. Comedy.
Comedy.
JH, boop. Comedy.
Well, all right, guys. You guys have heard it from the man himself, the former CEO, now comedian. Shit. This was a good time.
That was fun.
It was fun. I appreciate you being here. It's kind of dark and gloomy outside. Well, it's not dark. It's just kind of dark in here. It's making me sleepy. Now. You feel at home now, right? Yeah. Now you're comfortable now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were being a little awkward earlier. Like, why did I drive this far? And now you're here, and now you're having a better time. Yeah. And now we're gonna suck each other off. Anyways, all right, guys. So actually, I'm not gonna suck you off. You're gonna suck me off because I'm taller than you. So yeah, this is suck me off.
As long as you have a table and a bed that matches, let's reenact this moment. See how we feel.
Right? He's like, hey, you wanna remember the past? All right. Anyways, guys, that got a 0 to 100 right there. We're not gonna actually do that. He's got a kid, and I don't have a girlfriend, but I will. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Setbreaker Podcast. And until then, I will see you on the next episode. Okay, bye. I love you. Bye.